am Commissioner Nancy Jester, and welcome to Nancy Jester Reports for Tuesday, December 3rd, 2019. We're back from the Thanksgiving holiday. I hope you and your family had a lovely and restful Thanksgiving and are looking forward to the December holiday season. So, so today we met as a committee of the whole, and we set our agenda for our next board meeting, which we'll have next week. We received a presentation on I-20 East Transit-Oriented Design Community Plan. So we did that. We also did, we spoke a little bit about Census 2020. So if you need to, or if you're interested in the Complete Count project, you can go to decabcounts2020.org and get information on the 2020 census. So, and if you need any information from our office, just give us a buzz. We'll be happy to help you with the census. So, so in setting the agenda, most things obviously go through our committee process. So I'm going to talk about my committee work today in just a little bit. I do want to say that two items that we placed on the agenda today of interest to District 1 are, and they're going on the consent agenda, so they'll be approved next week in next week's board meeting. We have allocated from our reserve for appropriation for each specific commissioner. We have money that we can allocate to particular projects. So we have committed $50,000 to go to the city of Tucker for beautification and community preservation of the historic Peters Park community. And I had a lovely visit last week with that community. I wanted to thank them for taking me out there and showing me around that community and that park. So we're looking forward to doing some great things in that community. Also, we are allocating $80,000 for Henderson Park in Tucker as well, for a new bridge on a trail, and also another dock on Lake Erin in Henderson Park. So I'm very excited to be able to get those resources to that community, or to those communities. Let's see. So we had two committee meetings. I had two committee meetings today, Finance, Audit, and Budget Committee, which I chair, and we went over our October financials, so we're on target there. So I'm feeling confident about those. We went over our capital asset inventory status, where we are. We had engaged in the past a company to do a complete capital asset inventory so that we're compliant with GASB rules, and we can put that information on our audits appropriately. And we got a very good briefing on that. A little bit more work to do, but we're getting towards the very end now of that. So that was a positive update. And we also had a good conversation about bonds that Fulton has already approved, and we're getting ready to approve in DeKalb for Grady, so that they can expand their surgery center, and then not at the same time, but eventually there's some bond work that we'll need to do for their Ponce building for a different purpose. But they're expanding their surgical capacity at Grady, and this will help improve their payer mix. They'll get more insurance payers, and that helps facilitate the indigent care with a better mix of payers. So expanding the surgical center makes good financial sense, and it's something that's been needed for a while. So, and we also have a lot of funding from the philanthropic community, who has contributed millions and millions to this. Over half of, or at least half, I believe, of the funding is coming from the philanthropic community for that. So that was discussed in Finance, Audit, and Budget today. I also had my Public Works and Infrastructure Committee meeting. I think sort of the overall story on that is the great work that our independent internal auditor is doing. John Green and his team is to be commended, because we're reviewing all the contracts and procurement items over in Public Works just for to make sure that they were done correctly, that they are supported, that the numbers are all adding up, and we're holding some things in committee that work has to be done on to justify the spending. So we've got several procurement items that we still await information so that the audit team can say that it's justified spending. And we're saving money on a large procurement in Public Works today. the dollar figure was brought down from 3 million something to from 3 million and 3.5 million to 2 point something million. So this is good work. The audit, the independent internal auditor is doing. So just kudos to them. And we'll have a number. We'll get a total for the year of what we've saved the taxpayer and the ratepayers for water sewer for the whole year. I know we were well in excess of $3 million recently. Excuse me, it wasn't 3 million, it was 30. I think we were over $30 million this year that we've already saved through the work we've done with audits. So I'll get an overall number on that by the end of the year, or at least in January, so we can give you a picture of how valuable that audit function has become. So there's that. The other thing I want to say is I'm concerned. The administration has brought forward a rate sufficiency study change order, so they're wanting to spend a little bit more money on with a contractor who has been doing our rate sufficiency study, and so I'm keeping my eyes on that, because that means they are thinking about taking out more bonds for water sewer projects, which we have obligations to do. We're under a federal consent decree, and obviously you have to maintain your system, but those are backed by the water and sewer rates in the county that are charged. So we need to pay close attention to what this study says and what the implications are. So I'm sure be talking more about this as this situation develops. So that's pretty much everything for today. So again, I hope you had a great holiday, and if you need anything from our office, give us a call or send us an email. We're happy to help. And join us again next time for another edition of Nancy Jester Reports.